Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Dave.
And join us every Thursday for a new episode of Two Player Bros, a podcast about two guys who play way too many video games. Join me and Dave as we talk about the latest in Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and VR news, previews, and reviews. We have it all, and we play it all.
And join us every other week for Post Game, where we play through and dive deep into our favorite modern classics and new releases.
That's Two Player Bros, available every Thursday wherever you get your podcast, part of the Forgotten Entertainment family.
Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, are two Libra moons, and that says a lot. It's Chris Brodell.
I'm actually a Gemini.
You son of a bitch. And Shane Beauregard.
Auf geht's, Jungs. Let's do this.
Wow.
All right.
That almost sounded like mocking.
No, that's how it ends. Like, if you look it up, that let two D's, that's what it says.
Is
Wow.
the country you're saying it from going to be proud that you did that? That's what
probably not. Or is any country proud that I'm doing this? But that's God. For you, Germany.
Unter Gleben, Glaben, Globen, or whatever.
Yeah.
Def Leppard.
I should have went
offspring.
with that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as Shane starts having his chocolates and rolling himself away, we will get on to the rest of the episode. This is all going to be kind of like a follow-up to our top 10 most anticipated summer movie episode that we did a few months back. This is going to be our summer recap, where we're going to give you our best and brightest and worst and dimmest. Is that the opposite, I guess I would be looking for, of what
Sounds good.
Transpired over the summer? We're all going to sign each other's yearbooks and, wish each other a better school year next year. But for right now, we'll get into just kind of what this summer movie season felt like. And I think, because I'm a person who is present in the world and amongst you guys every single week where we're reviewing these things, I feel like I was disappointed overall in the summer. And I feel like it's kind of this coming back from COVID, production supply. Like, I feel like there wasn't even that many blockbusters this summer. And so we had kind of slim pickings to begin with in terms of what we were looking forward to, what could have been good. And then, even streaming felt lighter than it has been in years past too. So there was only a certain amount of good movies to watch at home if you weren't going to the theaters that often. Shane, I'll start with you, man. Like, how do you feel? Am I off base? Am I overthinking this summer?
Nope, not at all. You hit the nail on the head. This it's just been disappointing this entire summer. There's been a couple here and there, and we'll get into them. But when we did our list, I was generally excited. I think I've been let down by just about every movie in our top 10 list, except for a couple.
Yeah.
I think it's been a really stronger year on the TV side of things. Hands down. Yeah. TV shows to me have dominated 2022. In the movies, outside of a couple that made a lot of money, it's been a limp fest this entire summer. So I'm glad to see it come and go.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get more out of, the fall season that brings a lot of the Oscar hopefuls. Then we'll also maybe get some more horror movies up in this B because we got, the October horror stuff in the fall or whatever. And then, then we get stuff like Avatar or Shazam or other blockbusters that are going to come through that maybe, Wakanda Forever, things like that might brighten up the end of this summer, the end of 2022. Chris, you feeling the same way as us, buddy? You're coming into this going, what the hell just happened to me? I just get punched in the face?
I think what we should have seen coming was when we first had the top 5 movies so far.
Yeah.
And it was hard to make 5. It really was. And then throughout the year, just as Shane pointed out, it was a struggle to find anything of note to really talk about and watch.
Yeah.
But we found some gems amongst them.
Yeah.
Overall, it has been very lacking.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, I totally agree. I figure the best way we were going to kind of go over this, we kind of talked about it, was, we could kind of go over the top 10 list again and kind of, reorder the list if we were. But I think what we'll do is kind of go over answering a few questions. What was the best thing we saw? Maybe most disappointing, some better performances. And I think we'll kind of suss out what really kind of worked for us. If you've been following our show week to week, and God bless you if you have, obviously you know kind of where we sit with this. But there are a few films in here where maybe at the time we recorded, one of us or two of us didn't see that movie, and so now it's popping up again, but maybe with a different perspective. Or things we are just catching up on where we'll kind of maybe toss in some things that haven't been talked about at all on the podcast. So that'll be awesome. And then at the end, we'll kind of bring in that top 5, check in with that, like I said, before we hit the fall festival season and into the holidays to wrap up the year, and kind of check in to see how much different our list now since the summer movies came out. So let's start off with some softball ones. Maybe we'll get the tough ones out of the way, as Shane suggested. We can go in with most disappointing movie of the year. Obviously, considering the fact that we were just lamenting how this summer was, I'm sure there are a lot of candidates on the table. Chris, you want to start us off with your most disappointing movie of the summer?
Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah.
No, the interesting thing about that one, and spoil it for everybody, that is Shane's most disappointing too, so we can kind of have this conversation now. It's amazing that that's a choice, considering our expectations had to have been batted down because all of us weren't fans of Doctor Strange 2 either, or the shows that led into it.
That is true. However, having Ragnarok be so successful with the tone going into Love and Thunder, we thought, right, okay, we're going to get more of that, or, something along the lines.
Right. And
when it was finally, credits roll, stingers get shown, it was a lot to sit on. And you and I, Andrew, had a lengthy discussion after the movie.
Yeah.
And, further to recording, it's still like stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't shake the disappointment that I had in it.
Shane, you feeling the same way? I know obviously this is your pick too.
Yeah, and it was tough because I had another movie in mind, and we'll get into that. But because when we did our top 10 lists and we submitted them to you, Thor was like my second or third. So, I mean, it was up there. And like Chris, I just felt, there's a couple highlights like Christian Bale we discussed on when we reviewed the movie.
Sure.
But man, I don't like the direction they took the Thor character. And you had stuff to look forward to, like Natalie Portman being back, Valkyrie, and a lot of it just didn't work. It didn't connect, and I don't like where they left off. And it makes me less. I don't really look forward to a fifth one, especially with the stingers that Chris showed. I'm like, I have no interest in seeing that, like zero. So yeah, just because I had it so high, and it just let me down. I was expecting like another play on Ragnarok, and it just did not do that for me.
Yeah, very uneven tones, sideline characters at the wrong time, and then, like you said, when the carryover or the stinger also points to some of the weaker parts of the movie, then what's to look forward to, I guess, if you're moving forward with that particular plotline or that particular series. So I'm with you guys. Like, that would have been a strong candidate for me, but I guess because in that episode that we did our top 10, our number one was Nope. And for me, I wanted to love that movie. Jordan Peele means a lot to me. I think he's a very solid director, and I still think so. I don't want to be too off base here. And it's weird to have most disappointing in a movie that I still gave 3.5 out of 5, which is one of the higher scores we probably gave of certain movies over the summer. But the fact that I wanted to love it and the fact that I only liked it, it really kind of brought me down to a certain level of just, God, when I hate the feeling of like, I need to see that movie again and hopefully I like it more, because rarely does that work, or it's not enough. It never fits that expectation you have. But that's where I sit with Nope. There's not a lot of things. There's a lot of unexplained in that movie where it's like, oh, but once you figure it out, you'll be great. It's like, no, I figured out enough, but I still want to be told a solid story that I can grab onto at the time when I'm viewing. I don't want to have to go on that deep dive to make me feel better about watching a movie that didn't exactly grab me. So a lot of good stuff in that movie, but man, it is not Us and it is not Get Out, and I wanted it to be so bad. So I guess we'll stay on the bummer part of the summer. Let's just rip off the Band-Aids on this one, right? Worst movie of the summer, which, you're like, it's kind of adjacent to most disappointing of the year, and maybe there is some overlap, but there are going to be some true stinkers that need to get out of the way here. Worst movie of the summer for you, Shane, is?
Jurassic World, hands down. Because I'm the reason this movie got on the list in the first place.
Yeah, you did.
I know. I'm an unabashed fan. I like the series as a whole. I like the franchise, even through some of their missteps. And they try to throw in the nostalgia factor with bringing the OGs back. But man, this movie again was joyless, soulless. And it made me contemplate my life. It really did. I just sat there and I had to think about where I am in my state of life. So yeah, it was so bad.
And Chris, unfortunately, you had to also double down and watch it with your kid too, right?
Yeah. My daughter loves these Jurassics, and I was like trying to steer her towards Lightyear, and she's like, "No, I want to see this one."
Yeah, I want to see people die, Daddy, die.
Yeah. Don't judge. Don't judge.
Hey, no. Listen, my son over the weekend asked me point blank, Daddy, how old were you when you first started watching scary movies, horror movies? Oof. And I was like, buddy, your age, and I don't see it for you anytime soon. I'm not going to make that mistake.
Also, there's the caveat, when we were his age and we were watching the quote-unquote scary movies, they were under the banner of Disney. Like right. some Disney movies like really put trauma into our lives. So
I'm saying at his age, because I have an older brother, I had an older best friend, and I watched things like Texas Chainsaw, or Sleepaway Camp, Agreed. Or something else when I was 6, like he is. So
I wanted
no bueno
blame though.
Yeah,
I wanted to blame Disney for something,
Yeah, hey,
come on, Black Hole.
We just did. It's called Thor 4. So, and then Doctor Strange 2 before that. So we've been shitting on him quite a bit. But yeah, Jurassic World obviously was not critically acclaimed and will not be on this podcast. But at least, Chris, you share Shane's sentiment, at least on that one, because you saw it after Shane put the review on the podcast, so we can corroborate that it's a piece of shit. But this wasn't what you listed as worst movie of the summer.
No. And because I had certain expectations for this movie, once again, I'm talking Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Disney, take that.
Yeah. It was, there's, like with Jurassic, I knew what I was getting when I went into it. I was there for my daughter, but I knew I wasn't going to like it.
Right.
Like, my hope was I was going to be surprised and like it. But it made all my thoughts come to light, and lo and behold, it wasn't good.
Right, I get it. But if you were trapped in a room and you had to watch Jurassic World or Thor, you're really going to sit here and tell me you'd watch Jurassic World before you watch Thor again? Be honest.
This is where I was trying to make that debate with you. It's like, isn't it more your most disappointing and not the worst movie in the summer?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like,
by the way, terrible straws that we're drawing here between, like, do you want to say it's really fucking bad or sort of bad?
No, but I think the character of Thor, there was a disservice to him, and that's why I was like, it was T-ball. It was, it's right there. All you have to do is hit it.
Right.
That's it.
I think you're sounding like you were more insulted than and obviously disappointed, as we said with the last one. So it compounds the problem.
Yeah, it definitely. If you presented with me not hearing anything about either or,
right,
I was all for Thor. I was thinking Thor is going to be out of the park. Great.
The fact that we put it up so high on the on the highly anticipated after watching Moon Knight, after watching Doctor Strange 2, after watching other disappointments in this lineage.
Right.
Yeah, I understand your point.
Because even with those disappointments and with Phase 4 as a whole, I thought the bright spot was going to be Thor.
Yeah.
And when that didn't deliver, Shane, you said it, I start questioning my lot in life. I'm like, why am I putting all my choices into this series of films, TV series?
No, I understand, but when I go back and look at Thor, I can at least appreciate Christian Bale's performance. So to me, that makes it, and again, it's your list, it makes it more disappointing, not the worst.
But the worst to me is I had anticipated this to be at least good.
Right.
To me, it wasn't good. It crapped on all the characters that were presented on screen.
Right.
And that's why I say it's the worst, because it just like subverted all expectations.
Yeah. Well,
where like I said, Jurassic World, I knew what I was getting when I saw that. I didn't even want it on the most anticipated, but you had it on the list. And and that's not against you. Like you said, you like it. You like those films. And I'm never going to try and sway anybody. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean, you have to think the same as me. But going into it, I knew what I was going to expect. Like, my heart's not into it. My heart is in Thor. And when it comes back and says, you like this character? You're not going to like this character.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, shake my fist at the air.
Well,
so that's where my mentality was.
I hate to quarrel with either of you. Dinosaurs have their place in the world and superheroes do too. But you know what doesn't? An aspiring musician who agrees to a marriage of convenience with a soon-to-deploy Marine. That is the plot of Purple Hearts on Netflix. That was the first movie in my new film criticism column that I'm doing for What's on Netflix called Play, Pause, or Stop. And this was the only stop I've given in the 4 reviews that I've done thus far. This movie was wildly bad and so inconsistent, and just a movie built as this kind of showcase for Sophia Carson. Are you guys familiar with Sophia Carson?
No.
Nope, not at all.
No? You guys didn't watch The Descendants on Disney, apparently? She is a...
Oh, yeah, I've seen...
Yeah. Which character was she?
One of the evil ones. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know her. She was also in like a dance mom kind of a dance movie for Netflix a year or two ago too. She's trying to be this budding star coming out of the Disney spotlight thing, and God, this movie, I was just so upset. It's one of those, like, it's two flawed, terrible people that have to get together by the end of this movie, and you're like, God, I hope the world just implodes instead. And that's I caught a lot of crap for putting this as a stop to a bunch of disappointed military wives, I would assume, and people who really get into it from that perspective. But gosh, yeah, this did not work for me. This is by far the worst thing I saw this summer. But in fairness, I did not see Jurassic Park Dominion. So, there is still hope that maybe it's even worse than Purple Heart. So Purple Heart fans, cross your fingers that maybe I will come back on here and take that back and throw some more chum on the fire for Jurassic Park Dominion. But not today. Purple Hearts is terrible. So if you have a Netflix subscription, you're like, that's on my queue. Burn your television. Just don't watch that movie at all. But
so it's a pause?
Yeah. No, burn your remote too.
Yeah.
So now that was all the negativity. So, throw some spices over your shoulder. Do whatever you got to do to cleanse your area. We're going to get into the positives now. Let's start with the more kind of fun thought. Most overlooked movie of the summer, which is a movie that was not on our most anticipated list. So 10 movies right off the bat, not eligible. And one of them I will say for myself, because I will bring it up because Shane picked it for his pick. Your choice was my number one movie when we did top 5 movies of the year, because I saw this at Sundance before it was released in the summer. Tell the folks what you picked for most overlooked.
That would be Cha-Cha Real Smooth.
Oh, yeah.
And even now, when I tell my clients, I'm like, what would you recommend? And I'm like, Cha-Cha Real Smooth. And they just kind of give me that all shoulders look. Like, where can I find that? And I tell them, Apple TV. It is in a summer of, like we said, crap. And just everything going on. I thought this was a movie that hit me at the right time. Like, not even emotionally, but it had heart. It was well written, likable characters, great performances. And it was just one of those movies to kind of break up all the shit that I was watching.
Yeah.
All the bad stuff. And it hit all those right notes for me. It's and I hate to use the word sweet, but I'm going to use it. It was just a sweet, feel-good movie, coming-of-age story. And I really, really found myself enjoying it. And I scored it as one of my highest movies of the year. And and I noticed it was your number one still, as you pointed out.
Well, way to pull that one out, buddy. When we get to our top 5 movie wrap up at the end, it is still my number one. So that we'll get to the rest of like maybe how that got altered as we go. But top 5, like you said, it's number one. It's a great movie. It's a great pick, Shane. I recommend anyone pay the $5. For you to rent a decent movie now, it's over $5. Just pay the $5 to get Apple TV Plus for a month and just burn through all their stuff, because they don't have a ton, but what they do have is great. Watch Ted Lasso. Watch Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Watch the Oscar winner of Best Picture last year, Coda, But Severance is up there too. Shane had that in his top 5. So plenty of things to watch. Spend the $5. Watch Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Get on it today, because Cooper Raiff is 25 years old and a burgeoning genius. So please, that and my soon-to-be wife, Dakota Johnson, will all be together holding hands soon enough. Chris, your pick for most overlooked movie of the year is?
Vengeance.
It's on my watch list. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah. You brought it to my attention, and honestly, I don't know why more people aren't talking about him. BJ Novak from Office fame, The Office, American version. He wrote and directed this, and I'm like, Vengeance? I hadn't heard it until you said it, Andrew.
Yeah.
Like, it was on your list for to watch or,
Yeah, there's a few of those kicking around like that really interested me, and this is definitely one of them. And I'm not just saying that because BJ Novak is a podcaster in the movie.
Yeah. No, very similar.
Yeah, that and Only Murders in the Building finale tomorrow. So I'm I'm getting all my podcast stuff out right now.
Yeah, we have to catch up on that, but we are close.
Yes.
No, so I ended up watching it, and I was just engrossed from beginning to end. The premise is kind of like, huh?
Right.
BJ Novak has like this one-night stand of a girl he barely remembers, who he finds out died under mysterious circumstances.
Right.
So he is convinced to come down to Texas from New York to attend her funeral and find out how she died.
Right.
And he's podcaster, sort of like for NPR kind of programming, and he's always looking for a story. And he says, "This is my new story. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out what's going on with this girl. I'm going to try and remember who she was." And the family just gravitates towards him because it's they think he's someone else.
Right.
They feel like he corresponded with their daughter more often than he thought he did.
Right.
And just a series of miscommunications and misunderstandings keep him there and keep the story interesting.
Right.
So he's telling his bosses back in New York, he's got something, and they're encouraging him to seek it through. And it's just well done. It kind of reminds me of a throwback to like those 90s neo-noir.
It feels like it could be a Coen Brothers inspired, but like, obviously maybe not on the same level of execution, because who can, right? But it definitely feels like it's in that vein. And I will say, I don't know when you watched it, because it's still in theaters somewhere, around these days. But
I saw that too.
Yeah, the fact that we just watched Shane's boy, and now I guess maybe our collective boy, Boyd Holbrook, is in that movie too, right? So it made me more jazzed that he's just incredible in Sandman, and now doing this, that it makes me want to double down. But right now it's either in theaters with only a select amount of showings and stuff, so it's kind of hard to see, and then also it is on PVOD right now, but it's that $19.99 or whatever, $16.99, somewhere around that number. And it's like, all right, cool, man. I'll see you when you're $6.99 in a few weeks.
Exactly.
We will do it. But I definitely want to. There's a few of those kicking around that I definitely want to check out, and I'm glad that one is good. My most overlooked movie of the year is an actual success at the box office. So overlooked seems a little bit weird to say, but as it was not on our most anticipated list, even though Shane did do his review of it on the podcast, my pick is Elvis, baby. Mm-hmm. So it caught me off guard, because I was like, I'm not the biggest Baz Luhrmann fan. I grew up in an Elvis household. My mom is a giant Elvis fan. Only the Beatles topped the Elvis thing for her, but it was always around. And I knew a lot of the Elvis story, but I didn't know a lot of the things once I watched this movie. So I was like engrossed in a lot of the things that was done by. The only drawback for me is kind of like the Tom Hanks voice of it all. And even then, it kind of like, it's not as irritating as it goes through, but it's definitely a choice. But what's amazing is that even though Tom Hanks sounds like Goldmember through most of the movie, I still enjoyed the crap out of this thing. It's wildly entertaining. I basically was, as his story got more bleak and he was just being taken advantage of, and he's in Vegas at the end of his career or life, or however you want to put it, and he's going through the divorce stuff and everything else. He says some amazingly poignant things as a desperate man that I don't know what it says about me, but it hit me right in the heart, to where I literally called Shane after I got out of the movie. It was like, hey, you saw it, right? So did it do this to you too? Just weeping openly on the phone. And thank you for that, Shane. But yeah, it just hit me. It's like a death by 1,000 edits first kind of half hour or whatever, where you just kind of have to go through the ride, because it literally feels like cocaine for like that first half hour. And then as soon as like his career kind of gets through, where he's meeting the Colonel and he's getting into the meat of his career, and then towards the back half, it's an impressive movie, and it's got a lot to say. And actually, this is a great way to dovetail into our next category, because I also selected this as best performance of the summer, with Austin Butler playing Elvis. And I know, Shane, you have it down here. That is your best performance too. So speak on it, man. What did it for you with Austin Butler and his version of Elvis?
Right, and I echo everything you said about Elvis, because I feel the same way. I think I was the first one to see it, and just like, wow, this was better than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah, we got it. You planted the flag, Butler, Shane. Jesus.
Yeah, for Austin Butler, I've never seen him before. Like, to me, he came out of nowhere and just delivered, not only musically, body language-wise, and like you said, towards the end when he was all that emotional stuff like hit me too, and I was like, wow, man, he's really just knocking this role out of the park. It's almost like he was born to play Elvis in this movie.
Yeah.
Coming from nowhere. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Like, coming from nowhere. That's a lot of weight to try to move, especially with someone as iconic as Elvis. It still is.
Yeah.
And to really come out and fully portray him, and it just was a mind-blowing performance for me.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job of embodying Elvis without having to feel like he had to do like a mimicry or like this, you know, SNL type parody, you know, comparison, you know, this kind of, he just got it. He just got what it meant more for the movie maybe than actually Elvis. But when it mattered too, though, he really did get the moves down right, get the spirit down right. Even like, you know, he didn't have to go crazy lip curl. He didn't have to do any of the, like the extra over the top stuff we see in Elvis impersonators across the country. This guy just got what it meant to be him, to kind of be him, especially at the heights and the lows. I thought that's an impressive direction from Baz Luhrmann, which I don't actually like. I remember when you reviewed this, you were like, it's the least Baz Luhrmann.
Correct.
I mean, that's kind of accurate.
Right. Like you said, once you get through the first like 30 to 45 minutes and it settles in to be just a biography film.
Yeah.
It's just like a normal kind of movie. Like, so he took a lot of that energy out, in my mind anyway.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't care for Baz Luhrmann. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I'm fine with Moulin Rouge. There's a couple of projects that he's done that I like, but gosh, yeah, there's some stuff where I'm like, no, Romeo and Juliet, no thanks. Like, I'm fine. And there's a bunch of things where I could just go, that's not for me. But this one, definitely, I was in all the way. And I thought how they really kind of set the characters around him really well. I don't know. The Hanks thing is still a whole other, I don't know. You could make a choice to do a Dutch accent. I don't know the Colonel's exact accent or whatever, but Jesus Christ, it can't be that hammy. But it somehow works some of the time on me. And as you get along, it's like Stockholm syndrome or whatever, where it's just like, okay, I'm here. I've heard this enough times. It doesn't bother me anymore. It just kind of absorbs into the movie. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Chris, you did not have Austin Butler as your best performance of the summer, but I will give you a wide open lane to talk better things about Cha Cha Real Smooth. So tell the folks, Cooper Raiff, baby.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's something that you, Andrew, brought to the table and said, guys, you gotta see Cha Cha Real Smooth. What? I don't need to learn how to dance. No.
I'm gonna do that every single time. Cha Cha, no,
you gotta check this out. I was like, all right. Well, I have Apple Plus or Apple TV, and I said, I got nothing going on. I'll watch this little movie that he's talking about. And my God, that is one charming young man.
He's infectious.
It really is. And I'm just like, I want the best for him.
Yeah.
Outside this movie and in the movie.
I know.
If he ran a cult, I would join.
As long as there's that much dancing. He could get everybody going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, I'm a bit of a wallflower at first, and you know, I'm sure he would bring me out onto the dance floor, and I'd think nothing of it. He is amazing. Like, you know, what, quadruple threat, you know, actor, writer, director, overall nice guy.
Party starter, apparently. Party starter. Yeah.
Oh my God. Who'd have thought that's a job? And he found it and he excelled at it.
Right.
My God. You know, not giving anything away of that movie. But yeah, it was so unexpected. It was so good. I'm glad that I saw it, and I will also sing his praises.
Yeah, and I just want to put it out there because it's going to seem a little weird. Full disclosure, I did not pick Cha-Cha Real Smooth for any of the categories, even though the release date was summer, just because I put all my full-scale thoughts on the top 5 episode that we did, one of our earliest episodes. So I feel like I've been beating this drum over and over. We even had Morgan Roberts from In Their Own League and her podcast too as well, that she just came on and did all kinds of Sundance movies, and we did it again where I got to put all my thoughts about Cha-Cha Real Smooth. So I figured the people have had enough of me singing the praises of this movie, even though I have now chimed in multiple times whenever it got brought up. But
pass the baton.
But don't think that movie isn't my favorite movie of the summer, favorite performance, the whole thing. It's all right there, baby. So I am with you. I'm glad you brought it up, so I didn't have to. That is how I feel it.
I got you.
But the interesting thing, and this comes as a shock to no one, especially who has listened to our podcast all the way through on this, the best movie of the summer is just a phenomenon that is just capturing the world by storm, let alone just the domestic box office. This is a movie, fellas, that I'm sure you read in the trades, because you guys are all up on the trades, that this just passed Avengers Infinity War in domestic box office. It is number 6 all time, I think is the number. This is Top Gun Maverick, guys, and it fucking killed. Shane changed his name, possibly legally now, to his call sign that we went over many times. Do you remember? Are you Inferno still?
Inferno, you got it, baby.
Yeah. See? I could do it. Is that a legal name change? Is that I should have addressed you as Inferno Beauregard?
Middle name. I went with my legal middle name.
There you go.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
You
Yeah.
can interchange it any way you want.
Yeah. Look to when Shane adopts a pet, just to name it Inferno, coming soon to an adoption site near you. But it's no mistake that all three of us picked this as the number 1, right, Shane? I mean, like, you were probably the biggest proponent, but every one of us was singing its praises.
Yeah, I mean, it exceeded my expectations because I thought it'd be good because, as you guys know, and Chris knows, I love Tom effing Cruise. Like, he does no wrong with me.
Also,
and
his middle name changed.
Yeah.
Right. And I had no reservations about the length of time between sequels, which has been pulled off great or even good when sequels that long between the original.
Yeah.
So when this movie came out, man, like, again, you guys both said it. We all said it. Like, there was no negative in this movie. I mean, you can nitpick the very end with him and Goose's son or whatever. I didn't care.
Yeah, I had to do
I was
it,
in
though.
for the ride.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, being 6th domestically is even more impressive in today's world and whatever we have going on. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people still aren't going to the theater and everything going on outside. And for this to pass Infinity War? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, just, I saw it three or 4 times in the theater. I'm not lying. I saw it that many times.
I don't think you're alone because, I mean, this movie, guys, it kicked off the summer. It was out Memorial Day weekend. So, you know, the quote movie summer, of course, we know when summer starts. We're not dumb people. But like the official movie summer, this was the kickoff. And man, it just came out, you know, guns blazing. And it's still in theaters right now, even though I think Paramount or somebody just put it out there of that it's going to come to streaming finally, I think in the next few weeks or something, but it's not slowing anything down. It's still like in the top 5 for the weekend this past weekend, even though there was things to see, like Shane can sing some praises for Beast, I guess, if you want to take the minute. But yeah, it's just a phenomenal movie. It's weird to say it's almost a comeback of sorts for Tom Cruise when he still does all the Mission Impossible movies and stuff. But to me, because I like those movies, but they're kind of more an ensemble, this felt like kind of a comeback. A kind of like, yeah, I'm still the biggest movie star around, possibly the last big movie star, and I'm going to make it count. Chris, do you still feeling those vibes from back in the end of May?
People can't see, but I have my fighter jacket on, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
No, it's still the best summer kickoff.
Yeah.
That we can expect. And it was I really, by previews alone, they got me excited.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I'm just like, oh, come on. It's like, around 30 years since the last time. I don't think you can have the same feel.
Right.
Like, I'm surprised recruitment hasn't had like a surge.
Yeah,
with,
usually you see those
everyone
articles,
entering
right?
the Navy. Yeah. But like, it's so funny because what you said, Shane, is no one wants to go to the movies anymore. And I'm surprised at that because the last few times that I have been in the movies for like big, tent pole, good buzz about movies, the theaters haven't been packed that I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have noticed the same thing, but not many people are going to the theater. So for it to be number 6, it's amazing. Like, the fact that it's still in the theater kind of helps.
Yeah.
It lasted the whole summer and ticket sales are still drummed up, but
yeah, I just don't think that speaks well to what's out at the theater. I think that's part of the problem.
Also, that again, like, when have you heard like a movie of any type having this long of a run? That
it's been a long time.
Referenced since the 80s.
Yeah, a lot of them are, or the 90s, because you got like the Titanics of the world or something, that are gonna be like the last, because we just did what was that, 97? So we just did the movie draft. So yeah, it feels like a throwback in every single way. This movie also feels like summer. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I wanna stop this podcast right now and go toss the football with you guys, on the beach, like a man should. You know what I'm saying? Shirtless with some dog tags. You know what I'm saying?
Underneath this fighter jacket, I am all oiled up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just really hot where you're outside trying to record. Yeah, it's just brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it jazzes you up in all the good ways. It brought you back to, what was it, 87, the original? 85? 86. Yeah, dancing over it. But yeah, it just brings you back to that time, but it didn't feel dated. It brought you all the right storylines back. It introduced new characters in an inventive way. You get to see probably Val Kilmer in one of the last things he's going to do. Poor guy. But that was an emotional scene. Everything worked. Jennifer Connelly is still just an absolute smoke show. Just everything worked with that movie. It's damn near flawless, and people are responding to it in a big way. Especially, it's weird that we're having this conversation to be like just championing a sequel, being like, yeah, this fresh, inventive thing, whatever, or this like, kind of invigorating movie that, kind of triumphs over all these other franchise IP sequels like your Jurassics and your Marvel stuff and whatever. And this felt refreshing, even though it's also a sequel. But it does work in that way, and I think that's why people responded in this and don't mind going to see it multiple times. Plus, this is true spectacle. This is a movie you need to see on the big screen. So people are like, "Oh wait, it's coming to streaming." Their motives aren't, "Oh good, I won't go see it then, I'll wait for streaming." They're like, "Oh, I got to get to the theater right now to see this before it gets to streaming." And I like that. I like that it went full bore. The jet stuff is amazing. You have to see it on a big screen, and I think it absolutely works. See it in IMAX if you can. It's an amazing movie. And we don't need to tell you that because it seems like everyone I know has seen this movie. So like I said, that was kind of the best and worst of the summer of 2022. We kind of covered it. Go back and listen to our episodes to get kind of full looks at everything that happened this summer, including maybe more detailed opinions on those movies that we've mentioned. One of the things that we didn't mention, which maybe will kind of be more obvious, the only movie from our top 10 most anticipated that we haven't covered on this podcast is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. We kind of been teasing it for a couple weeks here. Obviously, we're looking forward to it. I don't remember where it landed on the big list, but I think maybe like 7 8, somewhere around there.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So not one of the hottest ones on our list, but definitely something that we definitely wanted to see. This movie, kind of in the trailers, did you guys have the vibe that we thought this was going to be a kind of more of a straight horror movie instead of like maybe what we got, which was essentially a modern game of Clue, where actually the director, I listened to her in an interview where she called it Lord of the Flies meets Mean Girls. And obviously neither of those movies are horror movies. So, or horror properties. So, but it does match. I definitely see what she's getting at with this movie. But for me, this movie was solid performances that I will take away more than I enjoyed the movie as a whole. I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought certain people were quite good, including Rachel Sennott, who I thought stood out in the trailer. I thought she was still the best part of the movie as a whole, too, who played Alice. And yes, again, I'm not just saying that because she had to defend herself as a podcaster. That is, it seems to be a common theme with what we've been talking about today. But Rachel Sennott, who I loved a lot in Shiva Baby, I thought she definitely knew what movie she was in and really kind of cranked it up and made things more interesting and probably had some of the better laugh lines. As I mentioned, the Libra Moon thing at the beginning because I laughed out loud when they did that. But other than that, I felt some of the performances I wasn't in love with, and I felt like the movie sidelined certain characters weirdly after they get into the house, and I think they did that as like a red herring or like a false flags to kind of maybe try to get you to go in different directions with the whodunit part of it. But to be honest, the way the movie shakes out, it kind of takes away from some of the things that should be important by the time we get to who survives and who makes it out through all this and why things happen the way they did. But yeah, I will say that I liked it, didn't love it, probably would put it in like a 3.25 if I'm going to cheat. So how did you guys respond to this? Because obviously we did not mention it in any of the superlatives here. Chris, I'll start with you.
Before I had seen it, I heard what it was about basically. And I think I even asked you guys, because I think you saw it before me. And I think I said, is it like Clue? I also mentioned April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Ready or Not.
Like, Ready or Not like somehow that movie is being so influential. There's been multiple horror movies or movies like that. Like that movie, The Invitation, that's coming out in a few weeks. The trailer looked like a redux of Ready or Not too. So it's weird how influential that movie is becoming, because this definitely has a feeling of that. But you nailed it with Clue, but the difference is like it's more about the skeletons in the closet than the bodies on the floor. And it's not as fun. It's more like this commentary on Gen Z stuff and other things kind of crammed in there at times that I just didn't think worked on me a ton. Some of it's fun and funny, but it didn't work overall.
I'm a huge fan of A24.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they take chances. I think I like more than I don't like. There was a few choices this year alone that came out of them that were kind of hit or miss with us.
Yeah.
But with this, I was just like, okay, it's ensemble. It's, one location.
Yeah, definitely a COVID movie.
Yeah, kind of like this premise that, it's all fun. But as they say in the trailer, in the movie itself, people get upset when they play this game. So, you have to factor that in before it happens. But this kind of reminded me of Very Bad Things.
Yeah, sure.
Where, one thing leads to another and it's all bad. But, when it comes down to how it occurred, what happens to everyone, you're like, huh. And also, I think I've aged out of most of the conversations in this movie.
It's quite possible.
I still, even looking it up on paper, have it described to me, I still don't understand gaslighting. Okay, so stop using that around me. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, some of the stuff, like, I'm just like, I don't understand what everyone's problems are. I don't know everyone's backstory. I feel it's like hinted on, but it's not delved into too deeply. It's all surface level. And like you, I liked it. I didn't love it. But once it was all said and done, I was kind of like, most of the year, this mentality of like, oh, so I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't wow me.
Did you like anyone or not like anyone in particular? Because, like I said, I'll sing the praises for Rachel Senow. I liked Pete Davidson in it as well. Who doesn't like Lee Pace, of course. But I will say the person who kind of drove me a little crazy with kind of the underplayed and kind of mischaracterizing was Maria Bakalova. I thought didn't work a lot for me. So I don't know how you felt on that.
I feel like she kind of represented us, the audience, where, she's new to this group. She doesn't know really anybody else besides Sophie.
Right.
And I got to say, I didn't really like Sophie as a character because it seemed like, she was into Maria's character.
Right.
But she's also into everyone else into the room.
Right, because she's after something. Obviously it comes out as it goes along, sure.
Yeah, so
she's just not a good person. Yeah.
No, and I think Maria is the only quote unquote good person out of everyone.
Right.
Because they all have their quirks, as I like to put it.
Yeah. But that's why I thought Rachel Senow was the only person who I thought was consistent. That made sense to me. That can actually bring something to the movie, and that's why I appreciate her more. Shane, are you echoing a lot of the sentiments that we're doing? Are we just a bunch of 40-plus white men that just aren't supposed to get this movie, or are we just not connecting with it on some level? Or were you into it?
We're not connecting with it. We're all on the same page. This movie actually made me think more than I wanted to think for a movie like this. If that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah.
Because as I'm watching this movie go along, it made me angry. Like, I kept getting upset because I don't like mob mentality kind of, nature.
Sure.
I don't like mob mentality. And these are very unlikable characters. And I kept thinking to myself, these people would never be friends. They would never be friends in real life.
Yeah. Although there is that elitism and rich in the same area stuff.
And you all know how I love Pete Davidson. I'm an unabashed Pete. No, I'm kidding. I hate that fucking guy. But no, it's just but when you think about me hating the characters, I think that's a good job by the director, because I thought they were trying to just encapsulate what this generation of people are like with the social media and how selfish and superficial they are. And when it comes down to it, they're all for themselves and not really for their friends.
Right.
It's like it is that Lord of the Flies mentality.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it did a good job making me not care for these people. I didn't like anybody in this film. Well, I did like Lee Pace's character.
I was about to say, well, he's kind of the avatar for our age level, kind of walking in going, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just trying to bang this chick. I'm just trying to be here and enjoy life and, be at a hurricane party. I will say,
I liked what saved this movie for me is the ending. The ending actually saved it for me. Once we find out what led to that domino falling to this terrible chain of events because of this incident, I thought it was smart. I thought it was a smart ending, and I know a lot of people, when I read online, did not like the ending. They thought it was
I'm with it. Yeah.
I liked it. It made sense. It made me actually go from a bad movie to okay, it's okay. So,
it has me when I'm literally retracing the steps with them in my mind of oh, right. So if this, then this, then this, and just trying to retrace, and did it all make sense? Does it make sense with these characters? And I'm doing that in real time. So what I will say about this movie, and I'm sorry to cut you off kind of or derail you, but I think, again, kind of like Nope, I think I'll probably like it a little better on rewatch. But as I'm going along, I still think I will have certain issues with certain characters, or there's a scene I think it makes me crystallize what I don't like about this movie. It's towards the end of Alice when she, I think maybe is in that Virgo moon conversation, or maybe a little after. There's just a bunch of like, there's a big shouting match between multiple characters that just lays all their issues out all at once in this massive dump of exposition or extra stuff that we all need to know all at once, that tries to shove more of the message of the film all down at once. And I thought if you did a better job leading things through instead of just rushing to like, hey, let's play this game that we didn't bring up or that we never talked about before, instead of getting to the plot device stuff and really making that work, I think if it was set up a little bit better going beforehand, you don't have scenes like that. And I think that's why I think this movie doesn't flow as well as it does, or as it should at times, which is why, again, it's a like and not a love for me.
Right, because usually for me, I have to be grounded or connect to one character in a movie.
Yeah.
At least one. And
if Bakalov is supposed to be that, it's not for me.
Right. Yeah, and it didn't work for me. And I just wanted everyone to die. I'll be honest with you. I wanted everybody to die in this movie.
Yeah.
So I gave it, just to share my grade, I gave it a 2.5. Now, I agree with you, Andrew. Like, I have a feeling if I give this time to breathe and see it when it comes to one of the streaming services, I may enjoy it more on a second viewing.
Sure.
But going in, much like Nope, I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
So that's where I land on bodies.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Shane. I give it a 2.5 as well.
Yeah.
But like just like on Letterboxd, I will say it's 2.5, but I'll put a heart to it. I liked it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those.
Yeah.
But again, like if I watch it again, I may pick up on certain things that I didn't this first time and enjoy it more, or it could stay at 2.5. Who knows? You know?
Yeah.
And I'll take that heart away.
Yeah. You're taking my heart away right now. No, I'm just kidding. I say my heart's for the real champions in the Letterboxd game, which is what we're going to get to right now, because we can update our top 5 movies of the year so far to kind of see where we're at before we end this all up. I think it's kind of a fun exercise before we really get down to the end of the year. And I'll start first because we're going to have a lot of crossover. What I'll like to highlight is I'll go through the order real quick and then just kind of highlight the differences between now and when we did this back in May. Cha-Cha Real Smooth, still my homeboy, still my number one with a bullet. It's all good. Top Gun Maverick, basically the order is still the same for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Cha-Cha Real Smooth, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Top Gun Maverick. Unassailable 4. All really great movies. And sneaking in the number 5 spot, which was not there previously, I just watched this on Peacock. Yes, I'm the guy who has a Peacock subscription because they're not doing well. But this movie completely worked on me. This is The Outfit, starring Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch, amongst others. And gosh, Johnny Flynn, he's amazing in this movie. It's another one of those movies that you could tell it's kind of COVID friendly. One location, it's all about I don't want to insult him by calling him a tailor. He hates that. He's a cutter. But it's about kind of a tailor, a custom suit place that has the mob influence in Chicago back in the earlier part of the 20th century, where you're just seeing kind of this, it feels almost like it could have been a stage play. I don't know if it was. This is co-written and directed by Graham Moore, who was the writer for The Imitation Game, which is one of my favorite movies of last decade. And so that's what made me really want to check this out. And to me, it's just a great movie where it just a domino effect of things going wrong, and you don't know whether things are happening by chance, who's pulling the strings, and it's just a simple story that I just really appreciated. Mark Rylance is incredible in it. There's so many good people in this, and this is the first thing he's written since The Imitation Game. It's been quite a long time, but God, he is just an impressive guy. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. But yeah, very small cast, very well acted, very impressive and time period specific. Very slick movie. Highly recommend The Outfit, which is now my new number 5. Shane, you want to go through your top 5 there, bad boy? What changed for you?
Sure. I got 2 new entries. My number 1 is still the same as yours. I still have the Batman up there, which is real close to my number 2, and I can flip-flop those on any given conversation. Is Everything Everywhere All at Once is still my number 2.
Right.
What's new is Top Gun is my number 3.
Right.
I had to take your movie out of there. I'm sorry, Andrew, because I had Cha-Cha Real Smooth in my top 5, and Tom Cruise had a Maverick it out of there.
Uh-huh.
And number 4 is a new movie, and we just reviewed it last week or 2 weeks ago. That's Prey. I took Fresh out to put Prey in there.
I almost put Amber Mid-Thunder in over Austin Butler. I thought about it. That would have
been a good one, actually. That would have been a good one.
I mean, it's just too much of that performance that he's just too good.
Yeah. And my number 5 is still the Nicolas Cage movie, because to me, that movie was so much better than I thought it was going to be. And that's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That is still my number 5. So that is it. 2 out, choice. 2 in. Yeah. And when we do this, if we ever do a wrap-up show at the end of the year, I could easily flip-flop some of these movies again. So who knows?
Yeah. Hey, man, Unbearable Weight was in my top 5, I believe, when this originally happened. So I can't fault you for that. I think it's probably still in my top, 7 or 8 as it stands in the year. So definitely we'll go and co-sign that one. Chris, a lot of similarities for you guys, but you got a couple of summer films sneaking in here too.
Yeah, sneaking in to the top 5 is Nope.
Yeah.
I really, that one set with me a lot more than I initially thought it would.
Right.
And it cracked into the top 5. Vengeance, as I've previously stated, was one that just surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can't wait for you guys to check it out to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, me too.
And Top Gun, of course, has to be in there at number 3.
Yeah,
because the Batman impressed me.
Yep.
For number 2,
of course.
We've talked about that endlessly. And at number 1, it still remains Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah,
I love that movie. It's hard pressed to top it, really. I feel like at the end of the year, it's still going to be my number 1.
Yeah, and the way we've talked about it here and the way a lot of people, critics across the country and people have caught this, you would think this movie just passed Avengers Infinity War. But, it definitely was the number 1 movie that A24 has ever put out in terms of the box office. And you can argue potentially the best movie they ever put out. I mean, it's a select few of really high-end movies that everybody can kind of agree on. And you're right, this movie it's on all our lists for a reason.
All the performances are great in it, and it deserves a spot on any list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And this is one of the ones I'm actually going to buy a physical Blu-ray of it when it comes out and add to my collection, which I don't do much anymore. And I'm not high on A24 like both of you are, because some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life has come from that studio. So I'm kind of scarred on a lot of them. And
right.
we could sidebar that conversation. But this one, to me, I agree with you, Andrew. It's the best film they've done to this day.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it exists so that way we can forget about Men from earlier in the year. So you take the good with the bad, but you always take the big swings, and that's what I appreciate about them. There's very few studios who will take on projects even this crazy in the room. Somebody who's trying to explain what this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is about and how it's going to come through. And they bought it, hook, line, and sinker, and let these people cook. And I appreciate it, and I'm glad that it's still all in our top 5s. But you're right. I'm glad we kind of had this conversation. I'm glad we went all over this because it sets the stage for, the entering into the fall festival season, as I mentioned. A lot of Oscar hopefuls coming through where our list might look very different, especially mine, as it goes through the end of the year because, I don't know. Shane, I feel almost not bad for you, but you're the big blockbuster action guy. You're all into that. So if your list holds to this, I'm sure you won't be upset. But to have even the thought of like maybe this was a downbeat in terms of summer success in terms of the movies that came out, I feel kind of bad for you.
Yeah, you should. Because it was a bad year for me, and there's no Frank Grillo movies coming out anytime soon. So
it's true.
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Yeah. But yeah, I anything I will probably do. I'm sure we'll talk about it off air, but we'll probably do like a full scale like what we're looking forward to in the coming months. All apologies, by the way, to movies that are still in the summer for the next like week or two, because we're kind of a little bit ahead of schedule with that. Shout out to 3,000 Years of Longing or any of these things that might end up being spectacular, but I'm sure we'll cover it as things progress. I'm also very hooked on. We'll probably talk House of Dragons and Lord of the Rings, all these things that are coming up for the TV side too. I'm tempted to ask like anything you guys are looking forward to in particular, but I'm sure we'll probably have some kind of listicle coming through. But you guys looking forward to stuff for the rest of the year, or are you feeling like, God, it all rests on like one movie, or you're just not into it? Any thoughts?
Honestly, to wrap up the summer, like you said, we're kind of ahead schedule. I am looking forward to The Invitation. I am looking forward to that movie.
And Samaritan?
Yeah, Samaritan. I was just about to mention that.
Yeah.
And the other Idris Elba movie coming out, like you said, was it 3,000 Nights of Longing?
3,000 Years of Longing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one as well, because I really haven't had time to do a deep dive in what's coming out post Labor Day, so I'm kind of clueless with that stuff. But yeah, there's a couple movies I'm still looking out. I'm looking. And Vengeance, like Chris mentioned, that was on my list. I wanted to go, I just haven't gotten there yet. So,
Yeah, I'm still catching up from stuff from earlier in the year. That there's a Jared Carmichael movie, On the Count of Three. It's like a suicide pact movie that is built as kind of like a dark comedy. That is now on Hulu, I believe.
Hulu, yep.
So that's on my watch list I just added. So I got some things to watch there. But yeah, the fall season, there's a lot of good stuff. The Toronto International Film Festival, Venice, and the New York Film Festival all kind of put out their lineups, and there's a bunch of stuff that I'm looking forward to that I'm sure we will preview the crap out of coming soon. Chris, anything? Any thoughts of like looking forward? Do you think that 2022 is going to be a good movie year at the end of the day, or are you just kind of skeptical at this point?
I am constantly skeptical, but am I looking forward to anything? Not in particular. I just want something good. I want good movies to come out to finish off the year, and not that I was like too disappointed, but like I'm tired of the middling movies.
Yeah.
I've seen them. They're all right.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. You know, I want something to stay with me. I want something, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I want to still think of them and be like, oh my God, 2022, an amazing year for movies.
Yeah, I'd love that too.
But right now, not so much.
Yeah. I'm in the state of affairs right now where, movies that are like 3 stars for me, are still in my top 25 of the year, which is not a good feeling to have. But like I said, a lot of stuff still yet to come. We will cover the crap out of it. So like us, subscribe, rate us, do all the nice things, and be sure to be back every single week for more recent activity.